Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my Uber-approved car. That's right, I got everything approved and all my documents uploaded to drive Uber. As soon as my background check comes back, I'll be good to go. Since I've never been arrested, my background check's a no-brainer, I'm sure. But I wanted to take a moment and talk about something called gaslighting. Have you ever heard of gaslighting? So I didn't know what gaslighting was when numerous leftists accused me of gaslighting on my channel. And so as I was going through this period of time where I'm kind of reassessing my life and looking inwardly and trying to figure out what happened in my previous relationship, trying to figure out where it all went wrong, that's where I ran into the term gaslighting. Now, gaslighting is a psychological term that comes from a motion picture. I believe it was a Hitchcock film called The Gaslight or Gaslight. And in this movie, the husband, a man, convinces his wife that she's going crazy by doing little things and denying reality. And like, for instance, she'll see something and he'll claim that he doesn't see it, or something will happen and then he'll claim it never happened. And it makes her slowly doubt her own sanity, and it's part of his diabolical plan to make her think she's crazy and to commit her. And so in psychology, well, the best example of gaslighting from a psychological perspective would be also a scene from another play this time. I'm trying to remember what the film was called. It's just escaping me. But in the opening scene of this, I think it's a musical, there's a scene where a woman comes home early and finds her husband in bed with another woman. And she's caught him red-handed. They're in the bed undressed and clearly been up to something. And she's immediately like, "Who is this woman? What are you doing? Who is she?" And both of the people calmly get out of bed and start getting dressed. And the husband says, "What are you talking about?" And the wife says, "That woman. Who is that woman?" And the husband says, "What woman? There's no one here but us, dear." And she says, "No, there was a woman right there getting dressed." And the woman's ignoring her, acting like she doesn't even hear. She's getting dressed, and pretty soon the woman gets her coat and her shoes, and off she goes. Meanwhile, the wife's going, "What are you doing? What were you doing in bed with her?" And the husband's like, "Honey, are you okay? Are you imagining things? I mean, there's no one here but us. What are you talking about?" And he just denies the whole thing right to her face. So that's gaslighting in a nutshell. Okay, so sometimes people do this to you. Well, they might flirt with somebody right in front of you and then claim they weren't actually doing it. They may be missing from work and then claim that, no, I was there the whole time. I don't know why you couldn't reach me. I don't know why my boss said I wasn't there. I was there. So this idea of gaslighting is something that's going on now politically. It seems like the whole left have become this absorbed, narcissistic, lying pile of crud. I'm sorry. Leftists are gaslighting us. So what's an example of leftists politically gaslighting? Well, Trump's a racist. Really? They just keep saying it over and over again. Trump's a racist, Trump's a racist, Trump's a racist. Even though the truth is, the ungaslighted truth, is that Donald Trump was actually beloved by the hip-hop community. Hip-hop artists used to wear Trump in big gold-plated Trump around their neck, as a part of their entourage of stuff. He appeared in hip-hop videos, lots of them. And when you go back and look at his show, The Apprentice, he had African Americans on his show, a multitude of them. The most notorious being Omarosa, an African American woman that he would later add to his cabinet. Now, he would fire her for being a beep, but because I watched The Apprentice show and she was a beep on the show as well. So, what's another example of leftists gaslighting us? Oh, I love this one. Assault weapons are a horrible thing. We got to take these weapons of war off the street. Okay, so that's gaslighting, because we all know, if you've read crime statistics, that of all of the possible firearms that are used in crimes, rifles are used the very least. Handguns are used way more. Shotguns are used way more. In fact, handguns are used more than both shotguns and rifles of every kind, much less assault rifles. Handguns are used in way more crimes and assaults and murders than long rifles are. Long rifles are used in the very least. Assault weapons are used less in violent crimes than blunt objects. That's right, you heard me. Baseball bats are used to hurt and kill people way more than assault weapons are. I'm not gaslighting you. Look up the crime statistics. It'll show you. Assault weapons are responsible for a tiny, tiny percentage of actual crimes. But the left will gaslight you and tell you assault weapons are killing thousands and thousands of Americans and the police are outgunned by these assault weapons. And it just isn't true. Okay? So, what's another way the left is gaslighting you? Well, when this whole impeachment debacle is gaslighting. They're trying to tell you that the transcript of the call that we all heard doesn't tell the whole story. Forget what you see with your own eyes. Forget the official, documented, government-stamped proof evidence of the conversation in the form of the transcript. The only record of the only actual. Forget all of that. And let's listen to somebody else's opinion of how the call made them feel. Someone else's opinion of what they think it means. You follow? That they're going to tell you Trump's a racist. They're going to tell you you're a Nazi. That's right, you. Because you support Trump, you must also be a racist since he's a racist. Does the NAACP give people in business special awards who are racists? Because Donald Trump got given a special award by the NAACP some years ago as a businessman for supporting African American small businesses. The left is gaslighting you. The only question is, why are they doing it? They're doing it because, I hate to say, they're making a power grab. They're trying to, get rid of, they'll tell you this. If you go and listen, if you can stomach it long enough to get through you'll eventually find some leftists telling you the truth, that they got to get rid of Donald Trump because they're going to take power and they never intend to let go of it again. They want to decimate the Republican Party and all Trump supporters one way or the other by any means necessary. By any means necessary, they want to get rid of you and me. Because we're racist. Because we support Donald Trump, who's a racist. You're being gaslighted. Donald Trump's not a racist, and if you're a Trump supporter, you're not a Nazi. Okay? I'll tell you what is true and isn't gaslighting. These people on the left have gone so far left that they're basically, there's no basically about it. They are in fact clearly pushing for a socialist communist revolution in this country. They're gaslighting you because it works. I think it's one of the rules for radicals, is that if you keep saying the same lie over and over again enough, people will just start believing it. And it seems to be working if the polls are true. That's another thing. They gaslight us with fake polls. They gaslight us with fake news. They gaslight us with fake accusations against our president, against us, against people we... You know what? Joey Gibson from the Patriot Prayer Movement, a half Irish, half Japanese American out of Washington State, out of Vancouver. They've got you convinced he's a white supremacist. And that his whole organization is a bunch of Nazis. You know, Nancy Pelosi has called the Patriot Prayer Movement Nazis and white supremacists when it's co-founded by a half white, half black man and a half Japanese, half Irishman. Okay? The left is gaslighting you. It's the next step beyond lying. It's lying and sticking to your story, no matter what. That's my story. I said, that's my story. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Are they making you doubt your own sanity? Do you ever wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and go, maybe I am a Nazi? I will tell you, they call me a Nazi bad enough over and over again, makes you want to start acting like one. You know, oh, you want to see a Nazi? Well, check out this jackboot thug putting a waffle print on your forehead. Nazi is as Nazi does. That's what I should start saying to him. I should start saying that. It's a variation of the Forrest Gump thing. Stupid is as stupid does. Nazi is as Nazi does. Who's the real Nazi? Antifa. Those are the real Nazis. Those are the fascists. That's another thing they call us, fascists. So we're being gaslighted. It's working on the sleepers, on the people that aren't paying attention. They just keep hearing that Donald Trump's a racist. Donald Trump's a rapist. Donald Trump is colluding with Russia. Donald Trump is abusing his authority. And they just keep saying these things over and over and over again. And eventually you start to wonder whether you're the crazy one. Maybe they're right. Maybe he is all those things. Maybe I shouldn't support him. It's kind of crazy that it actually works. It just makes me mad. Gaslighting just makes me mad. But I will admit that someone I was in a relationship with for a really long time gaslit me, used gaslighting on me all the time. It worked against me. I started... You know how I found all this out? I thought I was the one with the problems, and so I went on a psychological self-search to try to figure out what was wrong with me, only to find out what was wrong with them. And the bottom line is, the truth. You can tell a lie over and over again, but it still don't make it true. God save Donald Trump. God save our republic.